Yo, what's up? I'm Mr. Dave and welcome to Jazz in the World of Black American Music. I'm so excited to share what we have in store today because we'll be talking about the first element of jazz. So when we think about the blues, I want you to imagine it in three ways: the color, the feeling, and the music. We're going to take a second and I want you to imagine the color blue. And I want you to think about it as if you're going to describe it to somebody that's never seen it before. If you want, you can pause the video and think about it more or discuss in the class. Save those ideas for the next portion. Blue is often mixed or juxtaposed with other colors in the natural world. And in fact, it's rare to see a pure form of blue. One example is the blue that we see in the sky. But you don't see one shade of blue. And during a sunrise or sunset, you'll see a whole spectrum of colors. When the sky is at its bluest, it's rare that you'll see a solid canvas of blue. You'll also see the sun and the clouds, and maybe even a bird or two. Perhaps you might even see a blue flower. But what's at the center of the flower? Is it blue? Or what about the stem? Is that blue? There are countless examples of this in nature, but my point is that you will rarely see something that's utterly blue in the natural world. When I asked you to explain the color blue to someone who has never seen it before, what did you say? Often people will describe it as relaxed or mellow. But in every class, I found out that at least one person will say that blue is a sad color. I'm sure you've heard somebody say that they're feeling blue today. But let's unpack this a little bit more. Just like you would never see a pure form of blue in the natural world, I don't believe that there is a pure feeling of sadness. Some of the saddest moments in life happen because of an end to love. When a person loses a loved one or has a breakup, these moments are painful because of the depth of love that we have for these people. Yes, it's sadness or a blue feeling, but it's rarely just this. It's a combination of sorrow and joy, or sorrow and love, that makes these emotions feel the way that they do. For anyone that's studying music in this class, the blues combines major harmonies that usually sound happy with minor harmonies that usually sound sad. And just like when we were talking about the feelings of the blues, it combines a combination of colors and feelings that make the blues sound the way that it does. Let's take a second and look at the blues form. It usually comes in three sections. The first section shows what made you sad. The second part of the blues repeats and sometimes builds upon what we heard in the first section. And in the last section, it allows the singer to look at the circumstances that are affecting her life and make the decision to find the bright side of that situation. The blues in its essence is earned optimism, choosing to look at adversity in the face and finding joy within sorrow. Now, the musician that represents this the most, in my opinion, is Louis Armstrong. Louis didn't have an easy upbringing. He grew up in a neighborhood that was so dangerous that it was known as the battlefield. His family was very poor and he had to drop out of the 5th grade, and he started working. After shooting a gun in the air during a New Year's Eve celebration, he was arrested and sent to a youth detention center. It was there that he joined a brass band and learned how to play the trumpet very well. When he was released, he caught the attention of the best trumpet player in New Orleans, King Oliver, who became Louis Armstrong's mentor and brought him to his Creole jazz band. They eventually ended up in Chicago and became the talk of the town. After recording multiple albums, the trumpet duo reached groundbreaking success. Eventually, Louis Armstrong decided to make it on his own, with the Fletcher Henderson Orchestra, and then with Louis Armstrong's Hot Fives and Hot Sevens. first jazz superstar, playing all over the world and turning jazz from a local dance style to an American art form. He broke barriers for African Americans, becoming the first black Hollywood star and the first African American to host his own radio show. Most importantly, he embodies the spirit of the blues, taking the adversity that he faced in his life and finding joy within his suffering. Now it's time for us to embody the spirit of the blues. Now, remember the form. The first line of the blues shows something that you feel sad about. And then the second line repeats or builds upon the things that were said in the first line. And then the third line shows how you're going to overcome all of these things. So now I'd like to show you the blues that I wrote. I hope you guys enjoy.
I just lost my doggy, and I don't know where she went. Yeah. Oh yeah, I said I just lost my doggy, and I don't know where she went. Yeah. But when I find my doggy, I'll be happy when she comes home again. Yeah.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And if you have a blues that you wrote and you want to show me, please send it to me. I'd love to see it. My email's right here. Now, I'll see you in the next video, and thank you for tuning in to Jazz and the World of Black American Music.